deadly coronavirus outbreak in China is growing.
There's growing concerns about the dangerous coronavirus from China.
Hey everybody, we decided to stray a little bit from what we normally talk about, which is traveling. So we decided the coronavirus is a pretty big deal. I'm sure you guys have read and heard all the news, but we're hoping to give you guys some insight into what it's like for an expat here in Beijing. And we also talked to Doug, who's in Wuhan under the lockdown there. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it's like for, at least for expats in Beijing.
Yeah. So initially, they're saying that this virus, it started in Wuhan, China, which is in the central part of China, right?
Yeah, and I think since then it's now, sorry, I'm just looking on my phone. We're not news reporters.
Not yet.
Not yet. Probably never. So it's in China, obviously, Thailand, Hong Kong, Macau, Australia, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, France, South Korea, Taiwan, the US, Vietnam, and Nepal. So quite a number of countries. I don't think they're listing it as a pandemic yet.
It's because there's been no deaths outside of mainland China so far.
Is that the criteria for
No,
a pandemic?
I don't know what the criteria is.
Okay, so right now it's mostly just affecting mainland China. Do you want to talk about how we first found out?
I remember we went to the gym on a Tuesday. Like, we're on Chinese New Year right now, and last Tuesday we went to the gym, and I don't think I'd heard anything about it until Wednesday, until you sent me a message saying that we should make a video on it.
I think we knew that there was a virus in Wuhan on Tuesday. It wasn't really affecting us in Beijing. Nobody was wearing masks. People were doing normal things on Tuesday. And then I went into town on Wednesday and I saw more and more people wearing masks. So I was like, maybe this is serious.
Did you look it up, or?
About the coronavirus?
Yeah.
No, I think I must have known it by Wednesday. I definitely knew. I think we knew by Tuesday as well, but it was so fast. I mean, it's only Monday right now, just about a week later after finding out. But it was just all so sudden. Like, we knew nothing was happening, and then all of a sudden, whoa, there's a city being shut down. And then now there's, 12 or 13 different cities, which is just completely unprecedented. That's never happened before in modern history, at least. So
yeah, it's tough to I don't know. We Ashley and I, we've been hanging out indoors quite a bit, sort of like a self-imposed quarantine, only because, I mean, we're on Chinese New Year. Things are shut down anyways, because a lot of people travel during this time to go home to their small towns to visit families. The one time per year that people are able to go home.
It was heartbreaking
And
watching the news of, like, a lot of people, they can't go see their family, and a lot of people in China, they sell a lot of things this time of year, so a lot of their sales are just going to waste right now. So this is the big time, so I just feel terrible.
Yeah.
Because we were also supposed to go, we initially had plans to go to temple fairs here in Beijing. We were going to stay here for the whole Chinese New Year, mostly because I'm pregnant and it's just easier to stay. But initially we had decided ourselves not to go, and then a couple days later Beijing said no spaces with a lot of people, so all the temple fairs got shut down, museums, parks, things like that. Forbidden city, all national.
It's forbidden.
Yeah, it is forbidden again. Anything that a lot of tourists would go to. I think now some of the parks are starting to kind of open up, but you don't see a lot of people out and about.
Yeah. Our school as well has been pushed back. I think we're supposed to be available for online teaching?
A lot of the international schools, I want to say now, start February 17th. We were supposed to start on the 10th. There's other international schools that were supposed to start on the 3rd, and we've all decided to push back until February 17th at least, until we know more information.
Yeah, it's tentative as well, so there's still 2 more weeks in the regular Chinese New Year, so who knows what might happen in the next 2 weeks.
'Cause, yeah, I didn't think that schools would be shut down, so the fact that they did, because they also shut down public schools as well, so for me, that's kind of a big deal in my mind.
My concern is that, with everybody or with so many people traveling during this time of year, my concern is that, when people go back to, or come back to Beijing or come back to wherever, the spread of the virus.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, maybe. Like, what's worse, like us being here in China where more people are infected with this virus, or our friends that are coming back. They don't have to deal with it right now, but they also will be traveling when everybody else is traveling. And the incubation period, they don't know, but they said it can be up to 2 weeks, and you could be infectious during that incubation period. We're still learning more about that. But that, unlike SARS, they're saying that you can be infectious you can infect other people before you start to show signs of symptoms yourself, which is what makes this so worrisome.
We interviewed Doug, who is in Wuhan right now, an English teacher in Wuhan. He's living there with his girlfriend and his dog, so we'll cut to that as well.
Mm-hmm. So when did you know something was wrong?
Well, a few weeks ago, right before, a little after Christmas, there were some rumors about a virus occurring. But it's very hard to say, because the government was actually blocking these rumors as fast as possible.
Right.
Their censorship is rife in China. So it's hard to tell. On one hand, you have censorship, and then on the other hand, you also understand, the nature of rumors. The rumors that are the most dramatic, are the ones that spread the most. You typically don't hear rumors that, oh, it's okay. You hear rumors that are more extreme.
Of course.
So I was definitely more conservative when this first came out. The first big rumors were about it being airborne. Human-to-human transmission.
Right.
And there was some speculation that human-to-human transmission was happening. The World Health Organization, said it's a possibility, but they didn't outright say there was human-to-human transmission. First, my thinking was more conservative, that, it's no human-to-human transmission, we can't be certain. There's other vectors that could have allowed it to spread. But it soon became apparent that there was indeed human-to-human transmission, and now thousands and thousands of people are infected, all because, it started with some Chinese people apparently eating bats.
Yeah.
Other wild game, strange animals. And now with human-to-human transmission, it's very, very hard to contain. And there's a further worry that it could become airborne, and it could, be transferred by the wind. And if that happens, given how infectious it is, there's no stopping it.
Of course.
So that's definitely a concern.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was on the BBC, someone was interviewed who is living in Wuhan, where he said that he not only goes out with a mask on, but he also puts on goggles as well. He says it looks weird, but at least, because I've heard that it could get in your eyes and then get into your system that way.
Well, we ordered goggles. Yeah, that's true. We're waiting for them to come. We're not leaving the house.
Yeah. Do you still get deliveries and things like that?
Delivery is still functional, thank God. We're very grateful for that. We disinfect everything coming in the house.
Yeah.
We even, a couple days ago, we even ordered KFC and McDonald's. So we're happy that was still online. And we of course we clean everything, and we have to be careful. But you have to eat, and I think it's very important to keep in mind. You have to, I had no idea this was going to happen to me.
Of course.
I wanted to teach in China. Wuhan happened to have some of the best salaries in the country. It's in the center of China. I was interested. I thought it made sense. I had no idea this could have happened. No one ever thinks it will happen to them.
Well, yeah.
So
but it did.
Are you working there are you a teacher there?
I'm a teacher here. Yeah, I work at a training center.
Okay.
And actually, it's been everything was actually going, I'd say, overall really well.
How long have you been in China?
2 years.
2 years.
Not
okay.
2 years.
I think it's about us 2 or 3 years. I think it's 3 years this time.
3 years.
Yeah. We came at Chinese New Year.
In 2017.
We're in Beijing.
Beijing, okay.
It's like how do you sift through like what are rumors and what is factual? Like how, like, 'cause, I mean, I'm sure there's WeChat groups that you're part of, and how does that work?
It's very difficult. At first you have to regard some things with skepticism, but when you repeatedly hear the same rumors over and over and over again, and you start seeing videos, and then eventually official accounts from the government state, oh, yeah, that was true. Those rumors were true. This is actually happening.
Yeah, there was that rumor that the government was going to fly over with airplanes at a certain time. That kept happening. That kept being circulated. Did that actually happen?
That turned out, no, that did not actually happen.
That's
but
what I thought.
There are other things that are 100% true. For example, they have cut off, the army is at the train station, at the airports. They've isolated the city, cut it off. In theory, this could quell the virus. We're all hoping.
Yeah.
But there's really no telling. It's unprecedented in modern history. I've been doing research about this, and quarantines were very common prior to 1900. But with the advent of antibiotics and modern treatments, eventually it kind of fell out of favor. It's kind of like a sledgehammer approach. Well, now they're trying it here, and hopefully it does work. I mean, we'll have to see.
I mean, how did you feel when you first found out about the quarantine?
Well, I was shocked, but I kind of hoped it would, it shouldn't, I'm assuming it won't last that long. Even with the quarantine, I'll go on to another topic, there's evacuations now of U.S. personnel.
Right.
The only thing
I've heard
is,
about
you
that.
can't bring the Chinese government, and I'm sure the U.S. government, they're not allowing you to bring, even if you have a Chinese wife, unless she's a U.S. citizen, you can't bring them with you. So, and I have my girlfriend here, so I mean,
Wow.
You can't bring your wife, and I have a dog too, who I love. So we've already, actually a few months ago, we bought our tickets to come home.
So you were
For August.
close to,
Yeah.
like, are you done your contract
Planning.
now? Are you close to it?
Yeah, my contract finishes in April, and I have some other work arranged for after. But we were planning on leaving, and I still have those tickets. So if everything goes well, hopefully we'll leave then with the dog, girlfriend. Everything will be okay. I mean, girlfriend first, then the dog.
Priorities.
But really, we'll have to see. I will say this: I do have a theory. So I understand your channel is for teachers, right?
We want to do more teaching content, but right now it's mostly just traveling and kind of what our expat life is here.
Okay, great. Well, one thing I will say about Wuhan before this crisis, and I think after even more so, I really believe this. I believe that. I know before the crisis, salaries in Wuhan very competitive. There's a lot of demand for teachers here. They're trying to get people to come here. That's one reason why I came here.
Of course.
My theory is that after this crisis, even fewer people are going to want to go here, and there's still going to be dramatic demand for teachers. So I mean, for the people who choose to stick here, or for people who are very brave, I think there'll be an opportunity after this virus for very, very good employment. Not only good wages, but they'll need teachers, and you will have endless negotiating power. So for those who stay, I believe there's some opportunity. And
we should move to Wuhan.
You have to see. There's two sides to every coin. There's two sides to every coin. Disaster can create opportunities.
Yeah. I guess it's.
I know we're saying because Graham has an interview for a job later today, and I was like, well, I imagine some people, because even in other parts of the country, some people are probably
just China in general
questioning coming to China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's an opportunity if you're brave enough. And also, like, if your health is okay, and the median age for these the people who are dying, I believe, is either 65 or 75. Sorry, I should have done my homework, but it's quite elevated. It's people with mostly pre-existing health conditions.
Right.
So if you're healthy and you're not over 65, you might want to consider, maybe not Wuhan, but there's other places.
And I've heard some
being
people
stuck here in Wuhan.
I've heard some people have. Sorry, I was just saying. I've heard some people have recovered from it as well.
Yeah, some people.
So.
There are many Americans here who have colds. They have even fevers, and they're not sure if they have it or not. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping that some of them do have it, because if that's the case, they're in the process of recovering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if they're in the process of recovering, then after this they should have some immunity to it, and that also means that other people in my demographic, because the people I speak to are largely my demographic, 20s and 30s, usually healthy. If they do indeed have it, and they don't even know it, which is possible, then maybe it's not as bad. And some of the empirical data does show that its mortality rate is lower than SARS.
You're right. I've heard that as well.
Silver lining. On the other hand, though, it seems much more infectious. Either that, or they're able to detect this much faster, because we have technologies that weren't available back in 2003, when SARS occurred. So now they can detect these much faster. At the same time, though, it's spreading so much faster than SARS, either because it's more infectious or detection methods have dramatically improved. And the government is taking a much different approach.
Firmer hands.
When SARS happened, they covered it up.
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
I heard about that.
There's still some cover-ups and whatnot, but they're
not to the same
taking
extent.
the opposite approach. They're building 3 hospitals. They're quarantining the city. The complete opposite approach. So, I mean, that's I guess an encouraging development in some ways.
So I guess the city is under quarantine for an indefinite amount of time then? Like they're
Is there an
unspecified?
insight?
Well, according to I believe it was Didi, the ride sharing app, the for your viewers, the Uber of China. It said that the service will be shut off until April.
April, okay.
April.
Like
so,
no DDs at all?
That's still a very long time.
Yeah.
And my chief concern is about food. In fact, my girlfriend, we had a huge argument, and when it was ugly, really ugly, about food. I argued we do not know that delivery services will remain functional, that food will be coming to us. We need to go out there and get food now, while there's, before there's shortages, before it gets violent. My concern is if there is indeed a quarantine until April, you have a city with 11 million people now, since a bunch of people are out, maybe 6 or 7 million people because of the Chinese New Year.
Right.
6 or 7 million people. They're going to go through food and supplies fast. Hospitals are already short on supplies and food. They're asking for donations. My concern over the next few weeks or months, with everyone quarantined, will there be enough supplies and food coming into the city? So that's why we're stockpiling, but even then, that's a scary thing.
Yeah. Was there any warning ahead of time, or it was just out of the blue?
No warning.
I heard
no warning.
I heard the lockdown there was like a few hours.
Earlier, to be honest.
I heard there was like a few hours.
They told you in the middle of the night?
More or less, but it didn't. I mean, it was a few days. They told us a quarantine was happening. Maybe some people managed to escape. I was just staying here. I had no plans to escape. My girlfriend, my family are here. Maybe we should have. I don't know. But, we're prepared for the worst case scenario. And you see, now with the quarantine, we're somewhat dependent upon the government to bring in adequate food.
Of course.
And supplies. But you recall, even in the developed world, even remember Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
The difference is we have millions of people. So I'm concerned about that.
It's true. It's bigger than Los Angeles, bigger than London. Wuhan's a big city.
Well, it's the surrounding areas as well, I've heard.
Because it's now 50 million, 65 million people?
Is it?
That's what I've heard.
Lockdown, yeah.
A lot of people.
So you have to get food into these places. And it makes me nervous because now it's a government mandate that's bringing in food. It's like relief. And that is scary to me because if this, is indeed the case, they don't lift these quarantines, and we're reliant on government to ship in food and supplies, it's no longer a question of supply and demand, of prices dictating, how much and at what cost. It's the government bringing in things, and that can create shortages in some places and excesses in others.
Yeah.
And with millions of people, that can be scary.
I mean, we've already seen that with the masks that are sold. Like people have.
Oh, the price. Well, here there's like price gouging. Things that's like normally 10 kwai is now like 30, 40 kwai.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
I was just gonna say people like gather all of them up and then sell them at a much higher price.
Do you think we're getting the sound okay on this?
Okay. That's a problem too. And Wuhan has actually set up a hotline that if someone's price gouging, you can call and complain. But on the other hand, though, which I think there's two sides to this. If they don't raise the prices for some things, I'm not saying price gouge. That's as bad as taking advantage of a crisis. But if you don't raise prices on certain things, people will buy it all up.
Yeah.
And that will in turn create shortages.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's why a quarantine might run in the face of basic economics, and that's when you get shortages. So that's what I'm concerned about, really, more than the virus.
Or people would buy it themselves and then go and resell it. And do opportunity.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we just have to wait and see, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah. I think you guys are in Beijing, so I think it will be. You guys should be okay.
Because we heard about the CCTV and they seemed very firmly like Beijing will not go on quarantine.
That's what they say, but
it sounds like they're saying no matter what, because this is where all the government and everything is. Because I think even under SARS, Beijing didn't go into lockdown, but like you said, this is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
I think you guys are. I think it would be better, but just one thing I really want to. A lot of people. Some people online, they're saying, why are you in Wuhan? It's your fault for being over there. And I just say, some sympathy, have some karma. You never think it will happen to you.
They said it's your fault?
So I think, what?
People said it's your fault?
I mean, there's some just don't read the comment section on any popular publications. It's scary. It's like, just think about how Greta Thunberg, the environmentalists, think about all the flack she got from,
of course,
insecure 40-year-old incels. So just be empathetic. And I kind of laugh when some people, even on WeChat, they say, they belittle our situation. I kind of laugh a bit, especially if they're in China, because I'm just thinking, okay, say that. You might be next.
You're not too far away.
Right.
And I just say, you might be next, and I hope your family's okay. I hope you're prepared, because no one could have seen this coming.
Speaking of family, how is your family reacting to this?
Everyone's, my parents back home, I'm worried if they're getting any sleep. But my girlfriend's family here, they're all okay right now. We're all hauled up. I'm with my girlfriend and her brother and our dog. We have a very comfortable apartment, so we're lucky. And we're well stocked with supplies. We have lots of entertainment here. You have Netflix, PlayStation, books. We're okay in that way. And I think it's really important in any crisis, no matter where you are, you have to keep a positive mindset. You really do, because that will keep you alive. And time will tell as weeks go on. Keeping a positive mindset, that's going to be absolutely critical. Absolutely critical.
Yeah, it's easy to fall down the rabbit hole of news and information and just get anxious and upset.
Stay strong. That's just to keep a positive mindset. Be there for your loved ones and stay strong.
Do we have any more questions?
Let's see. Oh, have you left your apartment at all? I mean,
we leave our apartment to take our dog for a walk. Actually, let me just show you right now. It's Chubby right there. You see?
Chubby.
Cute.
So a little Labrador. We take him out for walks here. We're in these WeChat groups.
Yeah.
There's a couple American groups, and there's a lot of anger. A lot of anger.
We saw
the one that was
Flora. I mean,
Well, I'm friends with her.
Are you?
I'm friends with her. I was on the phone with her earlier, and
we see the memes.
We're neighbors.
Oh yeah.
It's like we laugh, but at the same time, I also feel bad for laughing. But
we keep each other strong. But yeah, we see all the memes. She can laugh at some of them too. You gotta have the humor in it all. I'm kind of jealous of all the. She's getting all the. I mean, there's a bad side to do, but she's getting a lot of attention for it. I was on Sky News 3 times, so I'm trying to see the positive. Yeah.
No, that's. I mean,
you're famous.
That's a good thing. All right.
You can always donate.
True.
Okay.
We haven't figured out how I wish there's not a lot of English sources for how to donate just yet, but
don't worry, they'll come. And just add me on WeChat, and we'll keep in touch. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Great. Thank you so much, Doug.
Great.
All right. Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I guess I go through moments of, oh my gosh, this is so serious, we need to stay inside, to moments of laughing at memes or joking around a bit. I mean, people are dying, so I guess we should take it more seriously. But
it's a coping mechanism.
It is a coping mechanism, like laughing it off, laugh in the face of death. I guess because I am a bit more at risk because I'm pregnant, because even the flu is dangerous for me right now. So with something like this, of course, I'm on high alert. So I tend to go out maybe once a day, if that, these past couple days, which has been really hard. But
easy for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, they don't even do that for countries with Ebola. I think the Western media does tend to do a lot of scaremongering, so it's hard not to get wrapped up in what they're saying. But of course, there's a lot of sensationalism, and they want to get the views. So I get it, but you have to take everything they say with a grain of salt for sure. Yeah, so we're not going to close China, I don't think.
Not yet. But you never know.
I mean, I would have to be every other country in the world, and China is so tied to everybody else that it would just have catastrophic effects on any economy if they were to cut ties with China. It won't happen.
They like that Chinese money.
Yeah. We do too.
All right.
So sorry, it's just us talking a lot in this one, but hopefully this was interesting for you guys.
If it was, then like this video and go downstairs and subscribe or comment.
Yeah.
Or do whatever you do.
Wear a mask. Hand sanitize.
Yep. Watch.
If you're in any other country other than China, then I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just wait.